All right, everybody, welcome to the show. This is Dream Crushers, where we
crush dreams
or crush dreams. It's up to you, really. It's how you hear it, how you take it in. I'm your host, Dustin. This is your other host.
Oh, Jordan. That's my name. I didn't know I was a host.
I forgot for a second.
I thought I was just here to
I don't know if you're a host or not.
Spill knowledge of awesomeness.
Drop knowledge bombs. Yeah, when are you going to start doing that? This is our third episode. It's time to start.
Well, I got to get them drawn in. They have to realize how of my intelligence and desire to come back to hear more bombs of knowledge.
That's what you're going to get, folks. Incoherent ramblings from a bearded man.
Hey, Blink-182 made a career of nonsensical words. So
good point. All right. So what we're talking about today is, we are a creative agency, but we are actually a marketing agency. Naming or like being able to describe what you do as creative people, which I hate the word creatives. Yeah. I think it's arrogant. I can't stand that.
And the word agency. It's so corporate. And so like to say creative agency, you're just kind of like, bleh.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, but it's so hard because you're like, hey, what do you do? We do graphic design. We touch knees under the table by accident. You're a graphic designer. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a photographer. And then they say, hey, do you build websites? Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Do you print stickers? Yes.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Do you know how to do an animated GIF? Yes.
No.
Yes, we do. Do you manage newsletters? Yes.
No.
Yes, we do. Do you manage social media marketing?
In the new year,
we will start. But okay, let's just break it down like this. We had a client come in. It was a word of mouth client. We got that business or the meeting from somebody else that we already worked with quite a bit, and it was somebody that we'd worked long term with, and they knew our work and they knew our ethics and they knew, that we get stuff done. And so we take this meeting, and this person is starting a new venture, and they don't know anything about graphic design. They don't know anything about marketing, really. They know what they know. They're experts and professionals at what they do, and that's why they came to us for the other stuff. And we said, sure, we'll take that. They'll take the job. We gave them kind of a price that we thought it would be, and like we gave them a range.
It was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
Like what they were asking for was a lot. And so we always try to give like packages of like package A, B, C.
Right. We do a range.
This is the cheapest you can go with the least amount of deliverables. And this is the most expensive you can go with the most deliverables.
Right. And if you don't know deliverables, it's like files. There's just a million ways you can use graphic design, and they might want it for a Facebook header and for, a billboard and blah,
vectors, blah, blah. PNGs, JPEGs of each thing.
Different file
transparent
formats.
backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Like and they don't know what that called. They don't know what transparent is. They just go, I don't, they don't know. They don't know the words. They don't know what the files are called. They can't ever open them. And somehow that's our fault. But anyway, this person chose the least expensive option, and we said, great, no problem. We'll get this done. It will, give us some examples of things. And we have a system, how we work. And so follow the system and we'll get this done for you. And then that person came back like a week later and flipped it to the most expensive option. And then they wanted other things. And of course, they want a website. Yeah, I'll build you a website. And I know how to build websites. I've been building websites for 15 years. Out of necessity, not because I am an expert web developer. I sit and I teach myself and I learn and I hack and I hack and I hack and I hack until something works properly. And then it's way too slow. So then I have to figure out how to speed it up, all that stuff. So this person then goes for the most expensive, and they pay the deposit, which is part of our system. We start doing the work. Yeah. What happens next?
Oh man, I don't know. This was a while ago, but if I remember, it was a lot of yeses in a sense.
And loving it.
Yeah, I love this. This is so great. Like we always start with Blue Line Roughs. So like roughs
super rough.
Spill out the concepts.
Hand drawn.
This is why I'm choosing this. This is the reason we're going this way. This, and this. And their business model was super complex because they had all these different elements in one housing.
Right.
I'm trying not to spill
Right,
anything
who it
about
is,
who
yeah.
this is because it went south quickly. But it was a lot. And so a lot of thinking and a lot of why are we using these symbols to represent this different stuff, and huge explanation. They love it. Okay, it's time for the cleanup.
We're being the professional experts that we are in this one thing.
Right.
We're not being,
you came
we're not
to
cocky.
us
Right.
to create something for your business that represents you and tells your story.
And it's something you can't do. That's why you came to us.
You came to us.
Right. We don't just draw a pretty picture and then that's your logo.
Right.
But there's so much
There's
thought
storytelling
and,
in it.
yeah, and marketing and what is this going to look like on a t-shirt versus on the side of a building. I mean, this is our job. This is what they're paying us to think about.
Yeah.
And in their mind, it's a secondary thought because they've already bought the building and they're ready to start this company and go, oh wait, we need a logo.
Right.
And you're like, that's not, I mean, it can work that way. Go to
You
Fiverr. That's
need
fine.
a logo. You need signage. You need brochures and pamphlets and a website and all this kind of
Social media.
business cards. Like you bit off a lot and you need a lot in an expedited time, if I remember.
Yep. And it was expedited. And so then we clean everything up. We're getting ready to deliver files. What happens?
All of a sudden, they don't like anything that we've created. Like we're practically done. At least my part was done.
Right.
All the branding, everything like that. All of a sudden, tons and tons of revisions after I think they already signed off on everything. Like, this is good. Thank you. Let's package it up. Like, then they're all of a sudden not happy and deciding they want to change certain symbols and fonts that were chosen and all this sort of different things.
Yeah. And I'm just speculating, but I think what happens is there's somebody that's in charge. There's a CEO, there's an owner, whatever it is, the founder. And this person decides that they love it. But then they start asking people.
That's the worst thing.
When you start
can do.
asking people and then they have a different opinion than you, you start to go, oh, okay.
And we run into this quite often is the too many cooks in the kitchen kind of
My wife
concept.
doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Well, is your handcrafted knife company? Is your wife your target demographic?
Right.
You're selling a lot of knives to, handcrafted $800 knives to women? Maybe. I'm not trying to be sexist, but who's your target demographic?
Right.
So what you want frilly cursive for your logo? Because that's what your wife likes?
Yeah.
No.
And your wife is probably not the professional. If she was, you would have paid her to design your logo.
Yeah. So yeah, we built a website. What I was told in the notes was I have no expectations of the website. I just want it to look like clean and professional. But it doesn't have to do any, it was just a brochure site.
Yeah.
It has to give the information.
A page for each one of the elements
Right.
that this company represented.
Yes. So I build that.
It was pretty straightforward.
Hates it. But it was very, I almost gave some of the information away. It was very on brand. It was built.
I mean, the whole thing, the branding that we created as well as the website, it all worked and looked great.
Yep.
For what the company was. Like it matched what they were doing so well.
Yep. And then she hates the website because she'd already kind of started to be mad about other things.
Yeah.
I said she. Anyway, I'll beep that out maybe. So the client is mad about the website. The person doesn't like it, and so I say, well, look, this is it. And then she asks for a few changes. We make the changes. I'm going to keep saying she. The client asked for a few changes. We make the changes, and at first, then loved it, loved the website.
Yep.
Then doesn't love it, hates it, and ends up having someone else rebuild it.
Oh, it was atrocious.
Horrific website.
Oh my gosh!
I
was dumbfounded.
Not only was it visually appalling,
yeah,
but it was also navigationally
confusing.
Incorrect. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could not follow where you were supposed to go to find the information that you wanted. And websites have to. They don't. This person, whoever built it, didn't use
I don't even think they use the branding,
keywords,
and the colors
phrases.
that
No, the color palette was different. It was so bizarre. And then this person came.
If I was coming to this company and I found them on the web, on that website, I'd move on.
Mhm.
Like, I don't care what the copy said.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a visual person, and I would look at it and I would think, this company doesn't have their stuff together. I'm not going to follow through with what I'm coming to them for.
Yeah. I mean, if you went to it's not this bad, but if you went to Craigslist and Craigslist was a graphic designer, a web developer, you go, I'm not sticking around here.
Yeah.
This is not who I'm going to hire. Anyway, long story short, this person attempted at some point to get a full refund. We told them, no, not getting a refund. We've done all this work.
We've done the work, and you approved the work.
Right. And we ended up at the end of the whole thing, we ended up sending
97. It was close to 200 files.
197 files to this person, all usable, print ready, in various formats. And it was a ton of work. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what was going on in this client's like personal life or financially with the business that they're trying to launch. I get it, man. When you're starting something new, it's scary. And if you get into a weird spot where you thought you were doing the right thing by hiring us to do this larger package and now the money's due, and I mean, I get it, but like the way that we were treated.
Did we get paid fully, or it was just the...
No, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. We got paid.
I don't even remember.
100%.
I don't do any of the financial stuff.
Yeah. We got paid 100%. And, this business still exists. They have a building. We see the sign.
I was dumbfounded. I mean, it was kind of one of those things like, I wash my hands of it. I don't care. And then I was driving with my family and I saw the building. I didn't know where it was located, anything like that. And I saw the sign and I was like, oh crap, I created that.
Yeah.
It was one of those kind of things. And I was like, well, I guess they're doing well.
Yeah. I guess.
So,
but at the end of the day, I guess the takeaway,
I should say, I created a version of that.
Yeah. There was some changes made at some point by somebody. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to get clients that are difficult, and you have to ask yourself, how do I deal with this person? How do I deal with a client who, maybe isn't happy with the work? And I would recommend that you think through your stance on that before it happens. Don't wait until it happens, because then you're just going to bend over backwards. You're going to just give in to their requests or demands. And because I think that's human nature. Like you start to question yourself as an artist. Yeah. Man, am I really bad at this? Or,
And I think I think we've had a history of that, of just like, how do I want to word this? Bending over backwards, essentially, doing whatever the client asked, because we wanted to keep that client because we were new and hungry. And I think it took us a while to gain a backbone and be like, no, you came to us. We're the professionals here. This is how it goes. Yeah.
And I mean, I totally agree. And it's a collaboration. When you first get started, and I think that's something that even I'm having an epiphany right now while we're recording this podcast, that's something we could do better. When we sit down with a client and we explain the process, when we explain how we do things, I think maybe we should explain that here at the beginning, maybe in the first 30% of this project, it's very collaborative.
Yeah.
We want to see your thoughts. We want to see links to things you vibe with. You like a certain color palette. You like a certain mug. You like anything that you're going to vibe with, that you want your brand to be about. Let's talk about that. But there comes a point, maybe 30 or 40% in, where we like, once blue line sketches are done and you've approved stuff and we're moving along, that collaboration process is over.
I mean, that's why we start.
And then we collaborate at the very end again a little bit.
Yeah. That's why we start with mood boards, is because it's like, we're trying to get an understanding of who you are and what you vibe with. I say it all the time when we're working with new clients, especially design focused clients, because I do the designing, is like, it's going to take us a while to get on the same page, or it might take us a while to get on the same page. The quicker I understand what you vibe with, the like quicker I'll be working on my own, because like I understand you, I understand what you like, I understand your colors and your style, and I'm going to just run with it, because that's what I do. I get lost in this tunnel of design and I'm just going to knock it out.
Yeah.
And then I'll revisit and be like, I'm done with this project. Do you agree with that?
Right.
And sometimes it's, yeah, absolutely, this is amazing. Sometimes it's a small tweak here or there, but it's never, let's start over.
No, it has been.
It has been.
And then we
like
go,
that.
well, this is outside the scope of the project that you sign a contract for. By the way, have contracts, even if they're simple.
Right.
Put dates on there. You need to have a start date for that project and an end date for that project.
And don't start work until a deposit is paid.
Yes. Why don't you listen to your own advice, pal? This guy will get excited.
Oh, yeah.
Just drop that iPad and start hammering out
We
blue
do
lines.
this all the time. Client meeting, someone says a concept, and I'm just like doodling in my sketchbook what I have in my mind, while he's over here saying, yeah, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And then the meeting ends and we're like, okay, this is all the stuff that we agreed to. And it's like, wait, we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. Why did we agree to this stuff?
Yeah. And that's comes to our second part of this podcast, which is the over-delivering part. We are on
promising or over.
I'm sorry, over. Well,
both.
It's kind of both. Yeah. Because when someone asks if you can do something, it depends on who you are. I'm the sales side of our company. Jordan is the artist. I'm an artist too in my own way, but that's in film. But he's the graphic designer. He's the illustrator. And so his brain, he's just like, he's already coming up with concepts. He's not thinking about billing. I do all that crap. And so like, he's not thinking about billing and Basecamp and project management. He's thinking, I got an idea, and he wants to get it down. Just like a musician will hum a few bars into their phone so they don't lose that inspiration. And that's great. I love that. I don't think that should change. But you are my blinder sometimes. You are my checks and balances system. And if you get lost in that iPad,
the reel it in.
Yeah, because I'm a money grab guy. And I don't mean that in like a negative way. I mean that in like you need all of this stuff, and we technically can do all of this stuff. So let's just do it, and let's make this money, because we have 7 kids to feed between the two of us. And then, but the problem with that over-promising is that then you're now caught up in a system or in projects that you're not ready for. We don't have a pricing list for web builds. We don't. I just kind of go like, this is what you want. Okay, it's 3 pages. You need e-commerce, this much. And we just kind of, sure, we just do it. And actually, I'm working on the last 2 websites that we're hopefully ever going to build, unless we partner with a web developer and they come in as like Public's web person.
Right.
Because I'm just not doing it anymore. And it seems counterintuitive to say you're not going to do certain things, but it's not. Because if I'm not spending 25 hours building a website, I'm spending 25 hours in sales, or I'm spending 25 hours in figuring out how to
knowing our hourly price and saying 25 hours on a web build, we have never made that much money on a website.
Not even close. No, I mean, that's the problem, is that, I look at it and I don't even know where the value system comes in my head. I just go, I think the value of that is this.
Yeah.
And that's probably what you're going to pay. And I have a website that they just paid the deposit this week. And this person, when this comes out, it'll have been a month ago, but this person kind of balked at how high it was. And I said, it's fine. I was totally ready to walk away. And they're like, no, we need to do it. It's important for the business. I'm like, okay. So I'm going to build it, and I'm going to try to build it before January. I know when this comes out, it's after January, but that's the goal. And then to be done with websites, because if I could spend 25 hours in sales, or if I could spend 25 hours working on the business, not in the business, that's better for our business long-term.
Yeah.
Maybe not in 2 weeks when payroll comes up, but in a year, it's going to be better for our business. And so those are the things that I think we are trying to impart on you is don't overpromise. Promise what you've already built out a system for.
Right.
Do you have a price sheet? Maybe you're not showing anybody your price sheet, but do you have a price sheet for graphic design? This is what I charge for t-shirt design. This is what I charge for whatever it is that you do. It doesn't matter what you do, whatever your side hustle is. Do you have a price list? And then don't diminish yourself and your own art and your creativity. Maybe you make earrings. Don't if somebody's kind of looking at a pair of earrings and it's $14, don't say like, hey, I'll throw another pair in for free because you just really want that sale. Don't do it because you're diminishing yourself. Don't over promise. I do think there is something about over delivering though. And I think that's about client retention. It is way easier to keep a client than it is to get a new client. And so if doing something nice for a client that's extra, we did last night. We made a post for one of our clients that we posted on our own account, social media account, but it took hours. And if they wanted to use it, they could.
Well, that's how I approach that beer can contest. It was a competition for a label. Mm-hmm. I approached it as marketing their entire anniversary.
Right.
And so when I sent off the label, I sent it off with mock-ups of t-shirts of how they can use all the elements that I created. And that's over delivering, and they were blown away.
And what happens is they go, oh, this is the person, this is a company, this is what you get for your dollar. And yeah, this is what you're going to get from us. A t-shirt mock-up off of a design takes how long?
Yeah, not long at all.
So it doesn't take long. It's about thoughtfulness, and you were thoughtful. And did we win that contest?
Yes. This is after.
Just say yes. We won.
Yeah, we won.
What did I send to you when you said, "Hey, I submitted to this contest"? What did I say?
You said if you submit, you'll win.
No, I did. That's not what I said.
No,
I said if you submitted, you won.
Yeah.
That's the confidence I have in this.
I only approached it because I like this company's branding. I like what they do. They feature artists, and I approached it as like, I'm going to create something that we have to show whether we win or not. What we're going to show when it's all said and done is going to be awesome, whether they pick it or not.
Yep. That's right.
And I had the time to do it, and it's outside of St. Louis, which is a goal of mine for the next year. I want clients that aren't in our stone's throw. I want clients that are further away, to kind of broaden us. But yeah, I got lost in my mind of thoughts. So I'm rambling now.
Jordan, we're on a podcast.
See, I brought it full circle.
You did. Nice job. Blink-182. It's called a callback, ladies and gentlemen. Well, so I think, what is our take? Is our take over promising good? Yes or no? Ready? Thumbs up. Yes or no? Thumbs
over promising good.
No. Yeah. Is it good? I'm going to say 1, 2. No, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and then you vote. Okay?
But if people are listening, it doesn't matter. They can't see what I just did.
I will say, but what if they're watching? Okay. Ready? Is over promising good? 1, 2, 3.
That's 2 thumbs down.
2 thumbs down. It's bad because then even if they accept it, then now you have to put all this extra effort into it. They expect the over delivery.
Exactly. And I did this with a client early on that is no longer a client. I went above and beyond on every single thing I ever did for them.
We got pooched.
In the moment, I finally had a backbone because I was doing all the print, all the design. I was mentally just at my wit's end, and I finally was like, no, you got to pay for it. And they just were not happy about that.
Right.
And I was not happy about that.
Because if you can take advantage, if I can tell somebody, I want you to come mow my lawn every week. Okay, come mow my lawn every week. Jordan.
No, I'm not going to.
No, you're going to come mow my lawn every week. No. And we have agreement. Thank you. You saw it here. He's mowing my lawn every week.
This is hypotheticals.
And then you come to the door at some point, 6 months in. Hey, can I need to get that $10 a lawn.
Right.
Like, no,
it's not only did I mow your lawn every week, but I've also been doing the trimming and doing the blowing. I rake the leaves.
Taking my wife out to dinner on dates.
Yeah.
Well, just because,
Right.
it's work.
But over delivering, and now
Yeah.
I'm asking for more money.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've been paying you the same amount
Right.
for what you've been doing. Why would I start paying you more?
Exactly. So over delivering or over promising, bad. Over delivering on 3. 1, 2, 3.
What?
Okay. If it's strategic, it can be good. It can also be bad.
For the ear listeners, we
did sideways.
We both did
Sideways.
halvesies. Not
Halvesies.
good, not bad.
The reason that it can be good is it can be really a bonus and a benefit to your client, especially if they're ride or die. We have a theory at Public, and that is that we are ride or die for quite a few of our clients, and some of them are that way with us. If somebody is like really like, if you're like family, not family, I know it's not real. I mean, that's such a goofy thing to say because no company is like family necessarily. But if you care about someone's small business or their business and you're helping and you want to throw them a bone, you want to do something extra for them, that's a lovely gesture. Just don't do it every single time.
Right.
Because if you do it every single time, then they just expect it. Just like if you let them pay late all the time and there's no ramification. Yeah,
then they're
repercussion.
in no hurry to pay you on time ever.
No. And these are things when you're a small business owner that you just have to nip in the bud, kick in the nards right off the bat. And if you lose that client because you have a backbone, you can do it in a kind way. But
Right.
I would say over deliver half the time or at the most.
What I would say is over communicate when you over deliver. You should say, you paid me for this. This is what I'm giving you. It's more than what you paid for.
That's
Just
right.
know that. But I'm learning animation. And
I got
so
inspired,
I
yeah.
felt like this could be really cool animated. So I animated it for you. You didn't pay for this animation,
Well,
but you can use
and you
it.
also don't have to go be like that,
Right.
on the
Yeah.
nose, but
Much
you
more
can
professional.
put it on the invoice
Yeah.
at a zero balance.
Yeah.
And what you do is you put it on the invoice. This was $300. You paid zero.
Right.
That way they see it. And you should call it out too. Like, hey, we threw some freebies in there because we love what you're doing or whatever. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, over communicating will never bite you in the ass.
No, under communicating definitely.
Absolutely.
So what we say is don't overpromise. Don't be like Public or like me. Don't overpromise. Do the work that you're particularly gifted at and do more of that as opposed to constantly adding some new feature, some new thing that you do, some new service that you're going to offer, some new product, some new thing on the app just because like a few people want it. If a lot of people want it, that's different. But especially like if you're in the design world and you hate it, or you're in the film world, don't go make films about topics you can't stand unless you got to eat. I mean, there's a difference between like, I ain't eating, I ain't paying my bills.
But at the same time, it's the age old show the work that you want to
Right.
get.
Yeah.
And if you're showing a bunch of training videos at a bank,
Right.
you're going to get more banks calling you to film training videos.
That's right. And the other thing is figure out where your line is, because if you have a line that is essentially like, okay, I am going to either film bank videos or I'm going to go get a part-time job at Lowe's and help customers find lumber. I would rather do that and keep my art, if it's an art thing or if it's an integrity thing. If you're making, you're making headbands and you've got this dream of making these certain headbands and they look a certain way, make those headbands until you find your audience. Don't go get that job at Lowe's, until you can make enough money to make those headbands full time. If that's your dream, don't sacrifice to get the money. It always turns sour, I think. I mean, it has for me. I've made hundreds of thousands of minutes, if not hours, of video that I think is just right at the line of worthless.
Right.
But I have to make it because that's how we help pay bills.
Yeah.
So, and we're getting to where you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Where we're getting cooler clients for you.
We have,
And we still have some cool clients for us.
Yeah.
Clients I like working with, but we need to move into that side too. It's harder in the suburbs with video, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't want to ramble. You want to wrap it up? Keep going.
No.
Oh, that was my stomach. Did you hear my stomach?
On that note, Dustin's got to shit his pants.
I do have to go to the restroom. So beatbox.
No, I'm not going to do that.
But how do we end? Do we go, keep crushing dreams? What did we say?
I don't remember.
I don't either. All right, so keep crushing your dreams. Keep crushing your dreams. I'm Dustin. This is Jordan. He has a full beard. I have a part beard. Brought to you by Coarse Coffee Roasters.
They didn't really bring
St.
it.
Charles, Missouri.
But product placement. If
Till
you
next.
haven't been, go.
Till next week. Hey, tell your friends if they need to learn from a couple of Doofenshmirtzes how to not do business, we're your guys. Until next time.
Later.